Hi cuties! It's nearly the end of 2019 and we are getting into 2020. What? 20 years ago was 2000? I'm very old. I'm probably too old to be doing this, but whatever. And I wanted to talk to you about the 11 most anticipated reads I have from authors I already know, because there's going to be a separate video from authors that I don't know / haven't read anything from yet. FYI, two-parter. Part 1, we're going to talk about some of the sequels coming out the next year or new books by favored authors of myself. So without further ado, and not in order in any way, no ranking, let's talk about those 11 books. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So the first one is a sequel. It is the sequel to Neverwhere, called The Seven Sisters by Neil Gaiman. It is the second in the London Below series. I am very excited because I love Neverwhere. There is no synopsis for this yet on Goodreads. September 15th is the expected publication. So I'm definitely gonna do a reread of Neverwhere because I have not read it since like high school, I want to say. Probably late high school, early college, I think is when I read Neverwhere. Because that's when I saw the BBC miniseries. I think it was BBC. I don't remember who made it, but it was somebody in the UK made the miniseries for Neverwhere, and I fell in love with the Marquis de Carabas. So anyway, the next is from an author. We all thought that this author had just wrote her trilogy, made her franchise, and ran off with all her money, but no, she is back with a prequel. And if you haven't guessed it by now, it's The Ballot of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, the prequel to The Hunger Games. I'm so excited because here's the thing with The Hunger Games. If all you remember about it is the love triangle, I want you to first think if you actually read the books or if you just watched the movies, because the books are so much better and have such a deeper story than what they did in the movies. I might have another read through of Hunger Games. I've really wanted to reread a lot of books, and maybe 2020 I will allow myself to do that. Granted, I shouldn't because I've got so many others to read, but I am very, very excited for The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes again, and this is actually going to be the reaping of the 10th Hunger Games, so I think that means Mags, and that would be really exciting if we get to see Mags win her games. I can't wait! I can't wait! I can't wait! 10th Hunger Games! 10th Hunger Games! Let's do it! The 10th Hunger Games! Because then you know they're gonna make a movie for it because they made so much money off of Hunger Games anyway. They're gonna do it again. The next book. It's a whole new book. I think it might be a standalone. I'm not sure. But it is by an author that we all know and love, and that author is Marie Lu. And the book is called The Kingdom of Back. This story involves two siblings, two brilliant talents, but only one Mozart. Born with a gift for music, Nannerl Mozart has just one wish: to be remembered forever. But even as she delights audiences with her masterful playing, she has little hope she'll ever become the acclaimed composer she longs to be. She is a young woman in 18th century Europe, and that means composing is forbidden to her. She will perform only until she reaches a marriageable age. Her tyrannical father has made that much clear. And as Nannerl's hope grows dimmer with each passing year, the talents of her beloved younger brother, Wolfgang, only seems to shine brighter. His brilliance begins to eclipse her own until one day a mysterious stranger from a magical land appears with an irresistible offer. He has the power to make her wish come true, but his help may cost her everything. This is exciting. It involves music, it involves magic in 18th century. The cover looks so good. I am excited. I'm very, very excited for this one. Excited for all of these. They're my anticipated releases. Next one is the sequel to a book that I read this year, and that was The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. The sequel is called The Night Country, and I'm super excited! This one, Alice Proserpine dives back into a menacing, mesmerizing world of dark fairy tales and hidden doors. Follow her and Ellery Finch as they learn the Hazelwood was just the beginning, and that worlds die not with a whimper, but a bang. With Finch's help, Alice escaped the hinterland and her reclusive grandmother's dark legacy. Now she and the rest of the dregs of the fairy tale world have washed up in New York City, where Alice is trying to make a new, unmagical life. But something is stalking the hinterland survivors, and she suspects their deaths may have a darker purpose. Meanwhile, in the winking out world of the hinterland, Finch seeks his own adventure, and if he can find it, a way back home. Finch! I'm so excited. I loved Finch in the first book. I was so scared for him the whole time, and I am very excited to delve back into the hinterlands. And actually, she's also writing another book. She's actually writing Tales from the Hinterland, also coming out in 2020. I can't wait. I am very excited to be able to put this on my list because I did just finally finish reading The Diviners, the first book in the so-called trilogy. It's not, because The King of Crows, book number 4 by Libba Bray in the Diviners series, is coming out February 4th. So I actually shouldn't read the description because I am not caught up on Layer of Dreams and Before the Devil Breaks You. Hopefully I will finish both of those before the year is out. Fingers crossed. So I'm not going to read the description of this, but I am very excited that the series is not over because I absolutely adored The Diviners thus far. So I could put it on my list. Are you a sleepy boy? Are you a sleepy boy? He's falling asleep. Next up is a whole new book. A whole new book by the one and only Kiera Cass. I love Kiera Cass, who wrote the selection, and now she's come out with the Betrothed. I'm sorry, I don't know. Yes, The Betrothed by Kiera Cass, coming out May 5th, 2020. I'm excited because I love Kiera Cass, and we have not seen her in a long time. And I need more Kiera Cass in my life. I need to delve back into that world. She's the one who first broke my hatred for, you know, pretty girl in a pretty dress on a pretty cover kind of thing that tends to turn me off from books because it's very negative image for the young readers, I think. So this one is when King Jameson declares his love for Lady Hollis Bright. Hollis is shocked and thrilled. After all, she's grown up at Carascan Castle, vying for the king's attention alongside other daughters of the nobility. Capturing his heart is a dream come true. But Hollis soon realizes that falling in love with the king and being crowned queen may not be the happily ever after she thought it would be. And when she meets a commoner with the mysterious power to see right into her heart, she finds that the future she really wants is one that she never thought to imagine. So this, I feel like, is going to be filled with romance tropes that I love, and I'm gonna read it, and I don't care what anyone says about Kiera Cass or her books, because you can in fact GTFO. Thank you. Goodbye. Just kidding. We have more books to talk about. The next one, literally just learned about this today. So this year I read The Disasters by M.K. England. I'm still waiting for a sequel for The Disasters, M.K. England. Excuse you for coming out with a different book. I'm still gonna read your other book, but I want a sequel to The Disasters. When is that coming? Spell Hacker is the new book by M.K. England and it involves magic. Tagline of this is one last heist, famous last word. So in this story, in Kirkarta, magic, known as Maz, was once a freely available natural resource. Then an earthquake released a magical plague, killing thousands and opening the door for a greedy corporation to make Maz a commodity that's tightly controlled. And of course, outrageously expensive. Which is why Diz and her 3 best friends run a highly lucrative, highly illegal Maz siphoning gig on the side. Their next job is supposed to be their last heist ever. But when their plan turns up a powerful new strain of Maz that literally blows up in their faces, they're driven to unravel a conspiracy at the very center of the spell plague and possibly save the world. No pressure. Oh, I love it. I love M.K. England's humor. And oh my god, there's a giveaway. Hold on. Entering the giveaway. Excuse me for one moment. It is coming out January 21st, 2020. Hell yeah! But still, hey, MK. Disasters 2. Give it to me. Next is by an author that I thoroughly enjoy called Anna Marie McLemore. And this is Deep and Darkest Red. Summer 1518, a strange sickness sweeps through Strasbourg. Women dance in the streets, some until they fall down dead. As rumors of witchcraft spread, suspicion turns towards Lavinia and her family. And Lavinia may have to do the unimaginable to save herself and everyone she loves. 5 centuries later, a pair of red shoes sealed to Rosella Oliva's feet, making her dance uncontrollably. They draw her toward a boy who knows the dancing fever's history better than anyone, Emile, whose family was blamed for the fever 500 years ago. But there's more to what happened in 1518 than even Emile knows, and discovering the truth may decide whether Rosella survives the red shoes. This is based on a story. It's based on a fairy tale, right? The dancing slippers? Isn't that a thing? Yeah. The red shoes. It's just the red shoes. By Hans Christian Andersen. We've got a new J. Kristoff book coming out. I have only ever read his work with Illuminae, but I plan to read a lot more of his stuff soon, like Nevernight. This one is called Empire of the Vampire. This is 27 years have passed since the last sunrise, and for almost 3 decades, the creatures of the night have walked the day without fear. Once humanity fought bravely against the cold blood legions, but now we exist only in a few scattered settlements. Tiny sparks of light in a growing sea of darkness. Gabriel de Leon is the last of the Silver Saints, a holy order dedicated to defending realm and church, now utterly destroyed. Imprisoned for the murder of the vampiric king, Gabriel is charged with telling the story of his life. And it goes on, it's a lot more. There's a lot more going on. Something about a grail. I think it deals with the Holy Grail. A legendary grail that will bring an end to the eternal night. This just sounds very interesting. I am interested in to see how vampires get interpreted. Vampires are not one of my favorite kind of supernatural creatures. There's a lot that has been done with vampires. We'll see how this goes. The next book. I think last year we were all shocked when Ransom Briggs came out of left field and brought us back to the world of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. We have a map of days. I have it on my shelf. Have not gotten to read it yet, but we have the next one, and that is The Conference of the Birds, which I'm not going to read the synopsis because I do not want to spoil myself for a map of days, but the birds. I want to learn more about the birds. If you haven't read Miss Peregrine's Home yet, y'all need to get on that. I have been obsessed with the birds. I thought they were such an interesting creation in the world, and I am excited to see if this delves more into that. I don't know because I haven't read a map of days yet, but we will see. So for those of you who watched my recent videos, you all know that I read Serpent, endowed by Shelby Mahurin recently, and I freaking loved it. It was so good. Go read it if you want some good mid-fantasy, historical fantasy romance with witches and a forced marriage and hilarity. You need to read Serpent and Dove. It's so good. And the sequel comes out September 1st in 2020, and that is called Blood and Honey. We're probably going to the Dame Bruges hideout because that's where we kind of left off at the end of the first book, and I need it now. I can't wait for September. I'm gonna need an arc of this like tomorrow. So Shelby Mahurin, could you just send that my way? Or Harper Teen, if you wanna hook a girl up, I would not mind that at all. Thank you. And those are my top 11 books, because I couldn't narrow it down to 10, that I am most anticipated to get my hands on in 2020. So this was part 1 of 2 of my most anticipated releases of 2020. These were all the authors that I already know and love. And next up you'll see ones of brand new stories of brand new authors, or authors that I just have not read yet, and with 14 of their books that I'm excited to see. So see you there. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, as well as your own anticipated reads from authors you already know and love down in the comments, or on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. I'll see you next time, cuties. Bye.